All right. So are you ready to dive into something really unique today?
Always.
It's A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking like, oh, another self-help book.
Right.
But hold on, because the backstory on this one, I mean, it's anything but typical.
Okay.
Just imagine like two Columbia University psychology professors,
Okay.
not exactly known for being, spiritual gurus. And suddenly they're claiming that a mysterious voice dictated an entire book to them.
Really?
It's kind of wild, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's true.
It's true. And what's so fascinating about it is, I mean, this text completely flips the script, on how we usually think about spiritual wisdom.
Totally. Like we're talking about Helen Schuckman,
Okay.
who's a self-proclaimed atheist,
Right.
and William Thetford, who, he seemed more focused on worldly success
Yeah.
than like divine inspiration, Not exactly the folks you'd picture channeling a spiritual masterpiece.
Yeah, not at all. And, it really makes you wonder, what was it about this particular experience, that pushed past their skepticism?
Exactly.
I mean, Helen described being able to like start and stop this voice.
Really?
Yeah. Making notes and picking up later as if it were a conversation.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's not like this overwhelming, kind of like channeling, experience.
Really?
It was like she was able to be like, hold on, I need to, take a break.
Right. Yeah. It's almost as if someone hit like pause on a recording.
Right.
And she was taking dictation.
Yeah. Well, then that's where Bill comes in, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Every day.
Wow.
For 7 years, he meticulously typed up her notes.
Wow.
I mean, this wasn't some casual project. It was a daily commitment.
Yeah.
And what's even more, intriguing about all of this is that their relationship was actually quite difficult.
Oh, really?
At times.
So they're not like, best buddies skipping through, fields of flowers together.
No, they had a very contentious relationship.
Interesting. So despite their differences and the sheer commitment, like this undertaking required,
Right.
they kept showing up day after day.
They did.
They transcribed this course. I mean, it tells you something about the power this material seemed to hold over them.
Yes.
Even if they couldn't fully grasp it at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got like these two unlikely collaborators, right?
Right.
A mysterious voice.
Yes.
7 years of like dedicated work.
Right.
What comes out of it?
Yeah. What emerges from this?
What is A Course in Miracles?
Yes.
And what does it offer, to somebody like you listening, seeking spiritual guidance?
Yeah. I mean, think of A Course in Miracles as like a spiritual guidebook.
Okay.
But with a very unique twist, I think.
Okay.
It's divided into 3 parts.
Okay.
You have the text, you have the workbook, and you have a manual for teachers.
Okay.
And don't let that, don't let that word teacher throw you off.
Right.
Because, you don't have to like, go get a teaching certificate
Right.
to get something out of this.
Right.
The teacher that they're really talking about is your own inner wisdom.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's not about being taught by someone else, but tapping into something within yourself.
Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so interesting about A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
It's not, you're encouraged to explore these books in any order that resonates with you.
Oh, interesting.
There's no rigid structure or dogma.
Yeah.
You get to choose your own path.
I like that. It feels very like flexible,
Yeah.
not intimidating. Yeah.
It's very inviting.
Okay. So let's talk content then.
Okay.
Like what's the core message
Yeah.
at the heart of this course?
So many spiritual traditions are very theory heavy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think what A Course in Miracles really does is it flips that on its head.
Okay.
It's all about practical application.
Okay.
It's about directly experiencing, these spiritual principles
Okay.
in your daily life.
Nice.
Yeah. The Course even says a universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary.
Wow. So it's less about like, memorizing doctrines and more about integrating these teachings into your like everyday experiences.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think a really great example of that is the workbook.
Okay.
So the workbook is structured around, 365 lessons.
Okay. So one for each day of the year.
One for each day of the year.
Right.
But here's the key.
Okay.
There's no pressure to rigidly follow that schedule.
Okay. So if one like really spoke to me.
Yes.
I could spend a week on it if I wanted to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do what works for you.
Yeah.
You're not trying to fit yourself into a box.
I have to admit, like, some of this stuff can sound a little out there,
Yeah.
especially if you're, new to this kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of our listeners right now might be feeling a little skeptical.
Yeah.
And that's totally understandable.
Of course, it's completely natural to be skeptical.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Course acknowledges this.
Okay.
It doesn't ask for blind faith, right?
Right.
It just encourages you to approach the lessons with an open mind,
Okay.
with a willingness to experiment,
Okay.
And what the workbook even suggests is that true belief will arise naturally
Okay.
from your own experiences,
I see.
not from just blindly accepting something.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we talked about like the Course's unique origins and like its emphasis on experience over belief.
Yeah.
But like, what are some of the core teachings you might actually find?
Yeah. What wisdom does A Course in Miracles actually offer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, the Course starts off with 3 very, very powerful statements.
Okay.
And those are, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, in this lies the peace of God.
How?
And these aren't just, nice words.
Right.
They point to, I think, a very, very fundamental shift
Okay.
in perception.
Yeah. I can see how like those words would really like make you stop and
Right.
and think they're challenging. Like, our usual way of seeing the world.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
They cut right to the heart, I think, of the human experience,
Okay.
to that place where we often feel, anxious,
Yeah.
uncertain, afraid.
Yeah.
And what the Course suggests is that those feelings
Yeah.
stem from a misperception of reality,
Okay.
from believing in things that are ultimately illusions.
So you're saying our fears, like our anxieties,
Yes.
they're not necessarily based on anything real.
In a sense, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The Course really distinguishes between 2 things, knowledge and perception.
Okay.
And knowledge in this context refers to, God's unchanging truth,
Oh.
a realm of absolute love and wholeness.
Right.
Perception, on the other hand, is our very limited ego-driven interpretation
Right.
of the world, often, clouded by fear,
Yeah.
judgment, that kind of thing.
So it's like the difference between like, looking through a really dirty lens
Yeah, exactly.
versus like seeing things with perfect clarity.
Precisely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's really where forgiveness comes into play.
Okay.
Now I know when we hear the word forgiveness,
Right.
You might think of, letting somebody off the hook or excusing bad behavior.
Right. Right.
But the Course presents, I think, a radically different perspective on it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm really interested in is how the Course seems to like redefine like these familiar concepts like forgiveness.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what does it actually mean like within this framework?
So forgiveness in the context of A Course in Miracles is really about recognizing that what we perceive as bad, as wrong, as hurtful is ultimately a call for healing.
Yeah.
It's a misinterpretation
Okay.
of reality.
So it's about choosing to see things differently,
Yes.
to align our perception with the truth
Yes.
of love that's within us.
Exactly.
So it's not about like, condoning harmful actions,
No.
but it's shifting our own perception to
Yeah.
see the situation and the person through a lens of compassion,
Yes.
understanding.
And understand, it's about recognizing the inherent innocence
Right.
within ourselves and within others,
Yeah.
even when mistakes are made.
And that makes me think about like relationships
Yes.
in a whole new light.
Absolutely.
Because if we approach them from this place of wholeness,
Yes.
not lack.
Yes. And that ties directly into another core teaching of the Course,
Okay.
which is this idea of love and lack.
Okay, love and lack. That's interesting. What
Yeah.
does that mean?
So the Course challenges this very conventional notion
Right.
that we have about love,
Okay.
that love is about, finding someone to complete us
Right.
or to fill a void within ourselves.
Right. Okay.
It suggests that true love doesn't come from seeking what we lack in others,
Yeah.
but from recognizing the wholeness that already exists within us.
So not needing someone else to make us happy
Exactly.
or feel complete,
Exactly. We already are.
but recognizing that we are already whole and complete ourselves.
Yes. And recognizing that same wholeness in everyone and everything around us.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We're not these separate, lacking individuals, but expressions of a single, unified source of love.
Yeah. And that makes me think about relationships in a whole new light,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Course encourages us to see relationships not as these, transactions to
Yeah.
get our needs met, but as these holy encounters,
Wow, I like it.
opportunities to learn, to grow, to practice forgiveness.
So instead of like, what can I get from this person? It's more like, how can I show up with love
Yes,
and understanding in this moment?
exactly.
What can I learn from this interaction?
Precisely. It's about recognizing the sacredness in every encounter, even the challenging ones.
Wow.
And one of the things that I think is so profound about the tools that A Course in Miracles offers for this transformation is this concept of Christ vision.
Okay, Christ vision. Now that sounds powerful.
Yeah.
What is that?
So think of Christ vision as a way of seeing beyond the limitations of our physical senses,
Okay.
beyond the judgments of the ego,
Right.
to a place of pure love and understanding.
So how do we access that?
Yeah. Is it like, meditating for hours on end,
Right.
becoming a saint? No, I think what the Course suggests is that accessing this vision is more about quieting the mind
Okay.
and learning to listen to a different voice within us.
You mean like that quiet, intuitive voice that often gets drowned out by like, our worries
Yes, exactly.
and our to-do lists?
It's that still small voice of wisdom,
Yeah.
guidance that's always there beneath the surface chatter of the ego.
Right.
And I think the more we practice listening to that voice,
Yeah.
the more we strengthen that connection to our true selves.
It's like cultivating a deeper level of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Learning to discern between like, the ego's voice.
Which is fear
Yes. Fear. Exactly.
in this right voice.
The right voice of love and guidance. Exactly.
Yes, love and guidance.
And as we practice that, right, we begin to see ourselves and others through the eyes of compassion,
Yeah.
recognizing, that spark of divinity that resides within us all.
So does the Course give us guidance on how to take that final step?
Yeah. It suggests that while our efforts are important,
Okay.
that final step is ultimately a surrender,
Wow.
an allowing of God's grace to bridge the gap between, our understanding
Yeah.
and the full experience of our true nature.
So it's not just about like our individual efforts, but
Mhm.
also about surrendering to something larger than ourselves.
Yes. And I think, the Course really emphasizes this, that even though we may feel alone at times,
We're always, guided, supported on
Yeah.
this journey of awakening.
we've covered so much today, from the Course's remarkable origins
right?
to like its profound teachings on forgiveness
Yes.
and love
yeah,
and this transformative power of Christ vision.
it's amazing.
If anything we've talked about today, like, sparks your interest,
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to like pick up A Course in Miracles,
Yeah.
read it for yourself,
Like that.
and just see what resonates.
And I think as you delve into this material, just remember this. A Course in Miracles is more than just a book.
Yeah.
It's an invitation to a lifelong journey of
Yes.
self-discovery
Yeah.
and spiritual exploration.
It's about recognizing the peace and the wholeness
Yes.
that are available right here,
right here, right now.
right now.
Yes.
So as you go about your day today,
Yeah.
consider this.
Okay.
What would it look like to approach your interactions, your challenges, even your moments of joy with a renewed sense of curiosity,
Yes.
openness?
How might that shift your experience of yourself and the world around you?
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep
Yes.
into these fascinating mysteries of life.